Joining me is David Silverman. He's president of American Atheists. He was on the O'Reilly Factor. We talked on Monday about this segment where Bill O'Reilly, in order to argue that it's okay for Christmas to be a federal holiday, he basically argued, well, Christmas is not really, Christianity is not really a religion, it is a philosophy. Let's take a look at that clip to jog your memory.
Say this is a
Mr.
Christmas
Silverman,
tree. Yes,
it
sir.
is a fact that Christianity is not a religion. It is a philosophy.
Well,
if the
can
government were
choose to
saying that the Methodist religion, all right, deserves a special place in the public square, I would be on your side.
So you're going to actually tell me on live television that Christianity is not a religion?
Correct. It is a philosophy.
You and I are going to fundamentally disagree on that point.
You are wrong.
Okay, so David, let's start at the beginning here. Did you know that this was going to be part of the argument? Like, what was the pitch you got for that appearance?
The pitch I got was completely different from this. It was a complete surprise. Somebody actually slipped me some inside information about what Bill was actually going to say, and he was completely incorrect in what Bill said. No, I didn't expect the religion as a philosophy thing, and as soon as he said it, if you watch that clip, you'll realize that he said it a few times before I acknowledged it, and I could tell that he was trying to do exactly what he tried to do last time I was on when he started talking about the tides. He was trying to derail the conversation away from the equality that I want to talk about. But when he pushed real hard and I got him to say that Christianity is a philosophy, not religion, what I was going to go for is that the concept behind Christianity as a philosophy and not a religion is an attempt to usurp the Constitution, to usurp the rights. It's an attempt to justify inequality. Oh, we're a Christian nation, so we deserve special rights. That's one way to do it. He's doing it a different way. Oh, Christianity is not a religion, so it's not bound by the separation of church and state. It's totally fallacious, and he knows it. And of course, it's inconsistent with everything, and he's already been corrected by a priest on his own show as far as whether or not Christianity is a religion. Of course it's a religion, and of course it's subject to the separation of church and state, and of course those other religions, Methodism that he talks about, Catholicism, they are sects of Christianity, just as Sharia and Sunni are sects of Islam. Islam is a religion just like Christianity. Orthodoxy, conservatism are sects of Judaism. Judaism is not a philosophy, it's a religion. So what we've got is an attempt by Bill to justify inequality.
Yeah, well, the other funny thing, too, is let's say Christianity was a philosophy. Since when are federal holidays put in place for philosophy? Like, where else can we point to where that happens?
They're not, and of course, but that same argument can be used of, since when are national holidays religious holidays? Well, Christmas is the only religious holiday that's a national holiday, and they're trying to justify it by saying, well, it's not a religion, it's a philosophy. Well, since when are philosophies celebrated on national holidays? They're just trying to muddy the waters. They're just trying to make us double think the fact that we're just looking for equality here, and in fact we're demanding equality, and in fact we're going to get equality, whether they kick and scream or not. And it really goes against their whole concept of do unto others as you would have them do unto you. Would they want Ramadan celebrated and not Christianity and not Christmas? Would they want Passover celebrated and not Christmas? Of course not. And that's when, if you put that out there, they'll come back with, oh, well, this is a Christian nation, which is, again, just another excuse to justify inequality on behalf of the federal government.
We talked shortly after the tide goes in, tide goes out, you can't explain that incident. And you said that really Bill O'Reilly plays this character on the show, and like right before and after you guys were live, he was like a different person. He was very well aware of all of the stuff that you study and talk about, so on and so forth. I'm curious, what happened after this? But like, I don't remember if you guys went to break or what the situation was, but did he carry this through, or did the character turn off? Like, what happened?
A light switch went off. He looked at me and he smiled. First of all, we both knew that it was great segments. We both knew it was great television. And he looked at me and he smiled, and I said,
that was a lot of fun. And he said, it was a lot of fun, and you got your point across. And I said, we should do this again. And he said, absolutely. It was smiles, it was cordial, it was civil, and I hope to do his show again.
So essentially, the Bill O'Reilly that was arguing with you about Christianity is not a religion, it's not only did he not really believe that, well, we can't say that for sure, but
right.
it was a character that he's playing, as it seems to always be when you're on the show. He likes having you on because he knows it's good for ratings.
Well, that's why they have me on. Remember, this is all about money. This is all about ratings. They bring me on because they think they'll get more ratings because they bring me on. And he wants good television. He wants fire. He wants that battle. He wants to show his teeth and bring out his claws. And he wants somebody that'll fight back. And I think he was extremely pleased with the segment. At least that's what I think from the looks that he gave me afterwards. We shook hands. It was a good firm handshake. Thank you for coming on. It's certainly the opposite of what I used to get from Sean Hannity, which was, F off and go away. O'Reilly seems to be a cordial guy who's doing his job, which is to portray this horrible character on television.
So that's interesting. So with your run-in with Hannity, it was a very different situation when the cameras went off.
Yeah, well, I've been on Hannity's show, and I haven't been on Hannity's show now for a couple of years. But when I was on Hannity's show, he was polite enough afterwards. But my goodness, I don't believe Hannity is acting nearly as much as I think O'Reilly is.
That's interesting. That's interesting.
Yeah.
And last thing about this, after you get your mic taken off and you're walking around, we've heard stories of times when there's people that are either non-religious or not conservative that go on Fox News, and then afterwards it's like the entire building is giving them the cold shoulder as they're quietly escorted out. Is that not the case at all? I mean, is everybody at the O'Reilly Show kind of in on, this whole the whole point of these segments, or are people kind of like cold to you there?
I would not say they're cold to me at all. I would say, well, I can tell you, I made a mental point this time of talking to figuring out how many people I talked to. I talked to 6 people during this event, and 4 of the 6 people were either atheists or seriously doubting religion. 4 of the 6. Yeah, the building is filled with atheists. It's in New York. They're just doing their jobs. And there are some people there, I'm not going to name any names because I don't know if they're out. There are some people there that I see every time, and when we recognize each other, and they're atheists. They're really they don't seem to be closeted. And I met another host from another portion of a TV show, from another Fox News TV show, and that person seemed to be an atheist, and hopefully I'll be on her show sometime soon.
Wow, there's a female atheist host at Fox News. I wonder who it is. I'm looking forward to it.
I strongly suspect. She didn't say, yes, I'm an atheist, but I certainly think so, yes. And I would love to name names, but I don't want to.
No. So you would say, in a sense, some people say that they have a gaydar. You have like an atheist dar of sorts.
I do. I have ADAR. ADAR, yes.
ADAR, okay.
I have ADAR. What I do is a lot of people will tell me, well, I believe in a spirit. I believe in an afterlife. I believe that this is not all of it. And the question that I ask is, well, do you believe that, or do you wish that were true? And when I ask that question, that specific question, I get a very, very interesting set of responses. A lot of times I get well, I really wish that were true. And maybe I don't really believe it, but I really wish it were true. And I get that a lot, and that's what I got at Fox News from some people that were there. There's a couple more things that I wanted to mention.
Yeah, go ahead.
And because he called me a fascist on the show, and I wanted to talk just a bit about that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, that's so absurd. I wasn't even going to bring it up, but go ahead, yeah.
Well, I love that he called me a fascist. Okay, I love that he called me a fascist, and I love that the day before, Rick Wingrove, our capital area state director, was called a terrorist. Now, we're being called fascist. I was called a fascist because I dare to demand equality from our government, and Rick Wingrove was called a terrorist because he dared follow the rules and legally put up a sign on public property that was a manned booth. I want people to understand that we need to start liking when that happens, because that is a sign of desperation. That is a sign of fear and panic. When they're calling us fascists and terrorists, in today's society, that's the worst they can call us. That's it. That's
yeah, it's like the grasping at
okay?
straws and making comparisons to Hitler when things aren't going your way in an argument.
Exactly. That's exactly what it is. And they know they're on the losing side of ethics. They know they're on the losing side of progress. I've gotten a lot of people on Twitter, on my Twitter account, saying, what is your response to being called a fascist or terrorist? I love it. I want it to happen over and over again. Keep calling me fascist. Keep calling me terrorist. You know what? That just means you're fearful, and it means we're going to win this. And I'm very, very confident.
All right, David Silverman, president of American Atheists. We'll keep an eye out for the next O'Reilly appearance. Thanks as always for being on, David.
Thanks for having me on, David. Take care.
Okay, we'll take a break. Back with plenty more after this. Stay tuned.